Welcome to Island's Plate with me, Treasure. Today, I'm going to show you guys my progress in regards to making jelly roll rugs. Okay, so I'm going to show you how things started and how things are and the process that I went through with making this other jelly roll rug. So before we get into that, I'm just going to tell you about some of the things that you're going to need in order to complete this project. Now, everything is really a suggestion for the most part. How you get it done is how you get it done. I'm going to break down some of those suggestions for you. Okay. So you're going to need fabric. That's like pre-cut jelly rolls. I bought this on Amazon, or cut your own. If you're going to cut your own jelly roll slices, I highly suggest getting a rotary cutter or some scissors if you want to just cut. Get some scissors if you want to just cut it yourself. Some people feel more comfortable with scissors than they do a rotary cutter. It's completely up to you. If you're going to cut your own fabric, I would highly recommend getting a 2.5 inch, so this is 2.5 wide ruler, and that'll help you get your stuff in the right order or whatever. And then you're going to need batting. This is like probably the most important part of like your project. It's going to be getting the right thickness and batting. Depending on like your batting, if it's too thick, it's going to come out wonky, which is why my first jelly roll rug was kind of wonky, but it's still very functional. I still use it today, but it just didn't look as well as the finished product looks once you have the right tools and stuff. But without further ado, I'm going to show you the process that I went through to make this other jelly roll rug, and then we'll go over the differences between my first one and the last one that I made. Anyway, it's not my last jelly roll rug, but it's the last one that I made. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and see you later.
So I'm going to start out with my fabric of choice. You can do, like I said, pre-cut jelly rolls or cut your own fabric, and then your batting. You can also buy your batting pre-cut, but I prefer to cut my own batting. It's cheaper that way.
Okay, I want to do this really quick just to show you, because I don't think it looked as great on camera. So I'm going to be more specific. So when you're transitioning between colors, when you're chaining your jelly roll strips together, what I like to do, because I think it looks a little bit more aesthetically appealing, when you have two pieces that are like different colors, I like to chain them together like this, flat against each other, and then I chain it. And then when everything is like the same color, like let's pretend these are the same, then I would do the crossing. Then I would cross them like this, and then, of course, sew diagonally, like, make a fishtail. Make sure you make a fishtail, and make sure that you sew diagonally. So you're going to sew this way. So hopefully you guys can see that better. But yeah, so you're going to make an X with them. Let me see. You're going to make an X with them, and then you're going to turn like a fishtail. Like a fishtail should be going towards your sewing machine, and then you're going to sew diagonally through the square.
I really hope that all that makes sense, but after you finish chaining everything together, you go on and cut off the ends of chaining together your fabric. I didn't go over this, but basically I have a jelly roll tool that I bought off of Amazon, where you can turn your jelly roll rug or your jelly roll fabric into a tube that you're going to sew your straight line through in order for you to go further and make your jelly roll rug. This tool I highly recommend buying. It makes things a lot simpler if you're able to get into the tube. If you don't have the right batting, which was my problem from the first video, I was not able to use this tool. So try your best to use the right batting. It makes everything easier and smoother. Depending on your sewing machine, you may need to not start at the very beginning of your rope. You may have to start a little bit past the beginning of your rope and then backstitch. But based off of my sewing machine, I didn't have to do that. I just wanted to let you know that's an option if you're having a hard time starting out your rope. And from this point on, it should be smooth sailing. You have the right tools, everything's folded, and you should just be able to enjoy yourself from this point. It should make it like a fun sewing project. It is for me anyway.
Okay, so this one is, or this rug that I'm doing is so much bigger than my biggest one I've ever done. I've done nothing but like placemats or really big centerpieces for my table. And the quality of the rope and the way that I'm flying through making it is so much faster than it was the very first time. And this one is going to be bigger. It's literally about repetition, learning the right materials, the right batting, the right fabric. You know, you kind of go through some things and figure out what you like. So it's not going to just be as simple as you're shown, which I'm showing you here. There's going to be some hiccups, but what you do is you figure out, what can I do? What can I get? What materials can I get that's going to make it less likely that I'm going to make any hiccups? And what is my groove when I make it? So there's the way that I'm going to show you that I'm doing it, and then you're going to do it and you're going to say, maybe that doesn't work for me, or oh my god, that works for me. Only you can figure that one out. But yeah, I'm figuring out that, like, yeah, this is going by, flying by so much faster than I did my first one. And also, like, my mood, like, I'm so much more confident this time because I've done a few of these, but just on a smaller scale. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, so I have made a mistake. This is the rug right here. Honestly, I think that I put it together fairly nicely. I think I did the rope fairly well. What I did was I made it too long, so it's not coming out as wide as I want it to come. And I realized that I don't have enough to make it as wide as I want, but because I'm almost done with my rope. So, I should have known this. I'm pretty sure there's somewhere along the line where I should have realized that, hey, this is not going to come out like in the structure you want it to be. So these are the lessons that you learn along the way. So I'm going to take it apart rather than have a finished product that I wasn't quite looking for. More practice, and I made the mistake, so hopefully maybe you don't have to. And you know, yeah, I'm gonna take it apart and put it back together. Hello. So I started over again and did it the way that I wanted it to be. I need to iron it. I should have ironed it. I'll show myself. Well, I'll show it ironed here. But basically it's finished though. It's finished. I'm very proud of it. I think I did a really good job with it. This is a world different from the first Jelly Roll quilt or Jelly Roll rug I've done on this channel. This is a world of difference. So what's different is the fact that repetition, I've done a few smaller Jelly Roll mats leading up to this moment here. I have better tools, so I use better batting fitted, like more fitting for Jelly Roll rugs. You have to make sure they're not too thick and they're not too thin for you to come out with the perfect rope. And if you're fighting with the rope too much with keeping it closed and not seeing batting or whatever, then it's going to potentially come out wonky. That also goes to the next thing you need, which is your skill level. So me doing this quite a few times since the first time that I did it, knowing the tools and then my skill level helped me to get to this point, and I'm fairly amazed. Yeah, I'll probably do like a little video up here, like side by side of my first Jelly Roll rug. So if you've watched my quilted video, this is basically how it's gonna go. It's like I'm gonna sew something and later on down the line, I'm gonna redo it and show you how that goes. So this is to show the progress, to be transparent of my progress. So I'm really, really surprised to see how well I've come with sewing these projects. So I hope this gives you inspiration. Hope you don't give up, and I'll see you next time.